students, how are you doing? Now we're moving on from skeleton, and one thing we need to always talk about and not forget about are the joints. The joints are very, very important. And when we study joints, first of all, remember that there is a classification of the joints based on whether it's the components, whether it's a cartilaginous joint or a fibrous connective tissue joint or a synovial kind of joint, versus the way they are, the degree of motion they have. They also break them down like that. And look at both of these classification systems. Okay. So we break them down. We study joints. First group we look at are the fibrous joints. Study these closely, and that includes the sutures, syndesmoses, and the gomphoses. Okay, there's three of those there. Make sure you study those well, and look how they work and degree of motion and all that. Okay, and then we have cartilaginous joints next. Okay, and we have the synchondroses and the symphyses, are two different kinds of these. The symphyses actually can move a little bit more than the others. And the one that can move the most, of course, is the synovial joints, which will be the third group of joints you'll look at, like your knee and your elbow and your shoulder. These are they are capable of a lot of motion. Okay, and some other things that you'll look at. Bursae and tendon sheaths would be one other thing we look at. We build these things up when we get friction, bursitis, you've heard of that before. Absolutely, that's a kind of an issue there for some people when they overdo their joints. It's easy to do. And remember, there's different kinds of factors that are going to influence the stability of these different kinds of joints, with respect to ligaments and the tone of the muscle and stuff like that. They're involved. There are 6 different kinds of synovial joints you need to keep aware of. All right, plane joints, hinge joints, and so forth. Study the different kinds. This is kind of complicated here when you look at these different types of synovial joints. So spend a little time here. Don't just shoot past this. Okay, and then we'll look at some joints that are easily injured more often than not, like the knee joint. Spend some time on that, looking at all the different parts of it in great detail. Some of the joints are pretty straightforward. When there's injuries, we can have sprains, and we can have dislocations and whatnot. Okay, we can also have inflammatory and degenerative type diseases that can go along there. I told you before about the bursitis and the tendinitis. Those are ones you can have. Of course, we have the arthritis, and there's multiple different kinds of arthritis there. So be sure you look at those arthritis. Of course, we have Lyme disease too. It also can affect the joints in a big way. And then finally, we look at the development of joints. Anyway, this should be a lot of fun. Okay, bye.